Crowds turned up this morning to hear the announcement of the site for Dunedin's new hospital. With $42 billion set aside over the next 5 years for capital projects, Health Minister Dr. David Clark said the hospital was one of the facilities that needed to be completely replaced.
Dunedin Hospital serves around 300,000 people across a geographic area twice the size of Belgium. And when we take that into account and think about the 50-year-old clinical services building that is on record as leaking sometimes when it rains, with the asbestos in the buildings and so on, there is no doubt that we need to upgrade the buildings.
The location of the new hospital will be on land that is currently the old Cadbury's building, plus the entire block that is currently housing Work and Income and was originally Big Fresh supermarket.
So the site that has been selected is the Cadbury block, the block immediately north, which we call the Wilson's block, and a little car park over toward the railway station, which will be a part of the Cadbury's purchase.
Dunedin's Mayor Dave Cole says he's pleased with the flexibility of the chosen site.
What I really appreciate is that the government has gone for more land than the minimum needed. So there's room for expansion, there's room for green space. It's very far-sighted and very prudent.
Dr. Clark agreed that flexibility was key to the location's choice.
I guess that gives the architects some scope. We've seen with the dental school building and other buildings in town, it doesn't hurt to have a bit of flexibility in terms of once you do geotechnical work, where the building would best and most easily and most cost effectively stand on the site. So it does give that flexibility. There's also the possibility as of doing things like having a combined research centre on site with the university, or a primary care facility, or shifting the oncology services across the road when that building reaches its end date, or eventually putting mental health services on the same site. So it future-proofs the site.
Mayor Cole says the announcement allows for other city planning to proceed.
This will be disruptive for quite a long time, and at least now we've got certainty as to exactly where it's going to go, so we can now start thinking about how does this interact with Council's plans for a centre city upgrade, how does it fit with the tertiary upgrade proposals.
The government is already in negotiations with the owners of the Cadbury site and has begun the process of purchasing the city block to the north. It is thought the rebuild project will employ up to 1,000 workers on site and will be completed in 2026. Dunedin, The South Today.